Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to another session of Property Talk. Today I'm with Oacheng. Most of the people call him Wiser.
Of
and the reason why I have him today is because yesterday we were actually having a braai with the gents, and we just sort of had a conversation regarding property. Then I thought, no, man, uh, he should come and have a session with me so that he can share his view about property and also his experience because he's been in property for a year now, or less than a year basically. So yeah, man, welcome. And before we go ahead, I just want to say to him, congratulations on your second property. You just bought this second property in 11 months. Congratulations,
Thank you,
bro.
bro. Thank you.
Today we're here again with another session. As mentioned, with my friend Oacheng, and we're gonna talk more about property. And I'm just gonna have just a conversation with him, not really an interview, but just a conversation with him regarding property and how he views property and what his experience since he started late, early last year actually.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the first question goes like this, ne? I just wanna know what was your perspective about property and what was your thoughts in thinking how do I go into it?
Mm,
Who do I ask? Do I have the money?
mm,
Is it only for a specific group of people? Because in a nutshell, most of property business people are actually white people.
yes.
So one would think that property is out of not the space of black people, but out of reach for black people
Mm,
basically.
mm.
So I just want to know, like, were your thoughts before you started getting into property?
Firstly, I'd like to say that for me personally, it was easy going into property. It was easy being introduced into property for knowing the likes of batho ba tshwana le wena, bo Lebogeng, his twin, Okgone. The guys have been doing it, so it was really a firm transition. Even though it took a while. It took a while because I had my other responsibilities that I needed to close, and I'm a guy that likes saving a lot.
So it
When
wasn't it wasn't about affordability.
thing is, I didn't know. That's my thing. I just like having money
Yeah.
for not even for a rainy day because it's quite hard for myself to just go out and then just shop or spoil myself.
Mm.
Like I just like having security,
Sure, sure,
knowing that you have a stash somewhere for in case of an emergency, whether it's
sure.
family, whether it's myself for small things. If,
Yeah,
if, if it's going out with the guys, I know that I can hold myself,
yeah.
you see. So now, how, looking into property, like you said, I didn't think that it's for us, the
Sure.
people of our skin color. Um,
I think it's a stigma that a lot of people have, or that is attached to property, to say
yes.
that. I think Tepo once mentioned that a lot of people think property is for the elite,
Mm, mm,
which
mm,
is nonsense.
mm, mm.
So I was just actually adding on what you're saying.
Yes. The other thing is that my background, where you come from. I mean, it's fine, you can work hard as a guy, but you don't think that, most one thing, like, your background doesn't allow you to think that
That is
broadly.
possible, yeah.
That
And also
broadly,
again,
you see.
yeah.
Yeah, I think when you work, you feel like you've achieved. When you drive a car, you feel like you've achieved. When you have a degree, anything that you can sustain your life to make it look nice,
Without being aware that it's actually beyond that.
you can go beyond that as a
Oh.
person, as a black person, to add to it, you see. So that as well played a role into actually me thinking that maybe property, it's not a thing for me, or it might not work out.
So what would you say to yourself a year back, now that you know what you know about property?
Hey, my guy, you played with your time. like really, dog. I'm looking at myself and I'm like, man, why
and the
didn't
pace,
you go into
and the
this,
pace you're going in.
bruh? Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like I could have jumped onto this thing even like the time when your brother approached me. Remember, there's a chat that we had a long time off cameras. We have a lot of chats.
Yeah,
me
yeah,
and you.
yeah.
There was this one time. I'm more closer to your brother than I am to you.
Yeah.
That's how we met, me and you, actually. But now roles have changed. He knows as well that you my go-to guy
Yeah.
because of that switch up. He introduced me into property. He would moan, bruh, come join. It's simple. But now thing is, the difference between you and him, of which I told him as well. The way you sell something to a person, it counts a lot. It counts a lot. So,
So I made it make sense.
bro, you showed me everything. You showed me the papers, dog. Like you showed me money, man. Huh? You sold it to me.
So are you saying there's money in property?
And that changed my life. So with I'm not gonna call I'm not gonna call it the little bit that I'm getting. With the money that I'm getting right now, it changed my life. Now, like you said, I just bought my second property now in 11 months. It
11
was
months, ne?
It was last year around this time when we signed for this house.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, we are making this video from his property. Actually, one of his property.
The first property.
Yeah, the first property.
I wish they could see the yard.
Ne?
I wish they could see
But
the
I think
yard.
they can see the background to see the space that is still there to actually develop. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. The way you sold it to me, bro. Like, the way you invited me to the coffee. When I can do on brainwash, brayaka. And
Was the brainwashing good though?
It was super. It was super. And the time that we did the viewings when we started searching now for property.
Yeah.
Like the way you carried yourself and the way I saw myself change while I'm conversating with you. Remember we were supposed to buy a flat?
Yeah, I was like, no, screw that.
Yeah, and then I asked you based on finances. I'm like, if I buy a flat, what are we looking at?
Yeah, in terms of
financing it now. Yeah, the returns and the paying of it. And then I was like to you, hey, my guy, I think this might be small waters. And then you looked at me, you're like, bruh, let's go big there.
Yeah, let's go,
get a house.
Let's
go. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So it's stuff like that actually brought the growth, the change into my life, and it gave me a different perspective. Yeah, because I never thought that I would be here today.
Okay, my second question,
Yeah.
It's basically on the fact that a lot of people assume that you actually need money or deposit to start or get into property, and also obviously in terms of attorney fees and all of those things, it could be nice if you have some deposit or something.
Yes.
Not even a deposit, but if you have savings to actually pay for that.
Yeah.
But I made mention in my previous video that you don't need money, because that's how I started. When I started, I never had any savings. I never had mommy give me something. No. I never had someone to guide me to say, be aware of attorney fees, be aware that you still need to finish the place, be aware that you still need to maybe do a bit of renos. So you obviously need money for that. So what I did, I then decided that I'm going to take a credit card.
Yes.
And that's when I realized from that point that we have to use the bank's money. And ever since then, I've been on multiple times been using the bank's money. And for me, I don't like the fact that a lot of people are being put into fear to say that if you don't have savings or if you don't have money, you can't get into property.
Mm.
That's nonsense. That's totally nonsense. But like I said, I know it's nicer to have that kind of funds
Yes.
to actually use them towards either attorney fees or other finishing the place. So I just want to know your view because from what I know, you used some of your savings
Yes.
to actually pay attorney fees and actually do some finishing. So I
Yes.
just want to know, what is your perspective in terms of that? Like, how would you go about it? Either maybe by advising someone
Mm.
or your general perspective to say, be aware of this.
Yeah. Okay, where do I start? Let's start with attorney fees. Um, a lot of people don't have that know-how or that knowledge that when you are a first-time property buyer, you actually get that a scapegoat or that incentive from the bank that I'm a first-time property
First time
buyer.
so they
You can just pay this for me.
they can give
A
you
lot
the
of
attorney fees.
a lot of the banks do that. But now, man, I was bad luck because I didn't know that. So I could still have pocketed
A lot of money.
a lot of money, a lot of money. But now,
Off record,
Mm.
sorry. Off record yesterday, you said that you paid the attorney fees from your savings.
yes.
However, he was able to make that money back,
Mm.
and he was completely happy with it.
Yes.
So I just want you to still maybe echo those words to say,
yeah.
or just say that on record now.
Yes. The nice part about having a property was that for me, after spending that chunk of money, I could get it back with the deposits that the guys paid when they moved in. So that's the nice part about it. That little hiccup that I had, I could actually just balance now, saying
Sure.
it wasn't all the money that I paid off, but it
Sure.
was money to survive with,
Sure.
and to actually start changing the place for them, to do renovations, to tighten up the security, to make sure that they have comfortable beds, you see. So that was nice. That was nice because now I was scared that what am I gonna do the changes with now to this property
Yeah.
after paying that chunk of money.
But I think just going back to the credit part thing, I think it's something that I mentioned to you, but you're always skeptic about. Well, he's always skeptic about taking any debts, whether it's a good debt or a bad debt. He's always skeptic.
Hey man, it's bad.
So I doubt even now he has a credit card.
No, I do.
Oh, now you do.
I've actually had a credit card
Yeah.
since I started, not since I started working, but a few years later, around 2012,
Yeah, yeah.
2011, 2012, Nedbank offered me a credit card, but now I used it for other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Obviously, yeah.
and that was the good thing. That was a good thing based on the fact that it helped me to build up
Your
my credit score.
Sure.
Because I didn't have the know-how about the knowledge of that. I wouldn't be here.
You were building a credit score without actually being aware that you're building it.
Exactly. Because now, like you said, I hate having debts or I hate owing. I don't even have a clothing account.
Sure.
And a lot of the guys I know, they want to jump into this, but now they don't have a credit card,
Nothing.
they don't have nothing. They don't have clothing accounts as well to actually
Yeah.
build that. Now they have to start there. So now the nice thing was that I had that,
Yeah.
but I was not aware that actually it's building
building your credit
towards
score.
something, and here we are today.
So in closing that question about the stigma that one needs to have money to actually get into property, what's your thoughts about that?
Amen. I don't have the knowledge about that, but you do need a bit of savings. Yeah. In my experience with my first one, I feel like you still need something, Yana. You need someone that can help you, or if you don't have savings, you need someone that can help you. Maybe the bank they can help you, but you have to have built something so that the bank can trust you with their money as well. You see, probably you can jump in and tell me how you did that, because now I don't have the knowledge of how you can jump into property still without having anything. Because now I saw there's one organization, I think it's the government, the
Oh, yeah,
FLISP
yeah.
or something. They offer people a bit of cash, maybe let's say if you're earning between 3k
I think
and
up until 22,000.
22,000,
Yeah.
they can help you get a property,
Yeah.
but it all depends on
No. Let me just correct that.
uh,
Not help you get a property,
okay,
but say maybe you are running short. Say maybe the bank offered you 95%.
yeah, or they offer you the 5.
Not offer you the 5.
Uh-huh.
They give you according to your salary bracket. To say
Okay,
we offer you maybe 50k according to your salary bracket.
yeah.
So if you are in that sort of predicament, only then they assist you, but not to say they help you buy property.
Okay.
Yeah. And also again, just to answer your question regarding how you would go about that, is actually, like I made mention, get a credit card for attorney fees, for renovating and whatever. But before doing that, make sure, even before you sign an OTP, make sure you've calculated everything to know that should I get a credit card, all the money that I'll be making from the tenant rental, it's gonna cover the credit card, it's gonna cover the bond, and I'm still gonna be left with something after all the services have been paid. So for me, that's how I approach everything. But I never get to use my money. I'll never use it. But I get where you're coming from, to say have savings for safety, for rainy days, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I well, unfortunately, my savings all go to trips.
Hey man, that's the next thing you need to introduce me into.
Since you started, ne? But I think you mentioned it earlier. Since you started, what you had thought and what you had calculated to say, more or less, should I buy this property, I'll make this much. Was that the case?
Yes. Yes, it was. You need to see the numbers. You need to see where you're going. You need to have goals as a person.
Sure.
Yeah. That's why I moved from having a flat as my first property.
Sure.
Because to me it felt like, why am I doing this if I'm going into this? Rather go
Especially
big
if you can
or go
afford
home.
a bigger
Especially if you
property.
you can afford
Yeah.
it. And you know that it's a property that's gonna pay itself off.
Sure.
Man, like it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
So you're making the guap.
I have my second now in less than a year. That's my answer.
Repeat that.
I have my second now in less than a year.
Oof.
That's my answer.
Oof.
It's up to them.
We can close 2023, ne?
No, man.
Oh,
Not yet.
All right.
Not yet.
The plans
Not
you
yet.
have, ne?
The plans I have.
Hey.
The plans I have.
So, given the fact that property is to other people made as if like it's making money, but it's not making money. For me, previous video, it's always the fact that you get people who failed to buy the right property in the right location and not making the calculations you made.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And yet they go back to people who don't have the knowledge of going into property. How can they make money from property? Now they advise them or tell them or share their experience to say, this is what happened to me. But they're not saying that I bought a 1-bedroom apartment. So what was happening is that I was breaking even with the bond, and now I had to pay the water, the levies and everything,
So you're losing.
basically. So I just want you to tell me how important is buying the right property
In the right space.
in the right space. But I think you did make mention of how important is it to know your calculations.
It's like selling anything. You have to know the demand. You have to know your competitors as well. You have to have the right price, and in having the right price, you have to know that your return can sustain you for anything. Lately, we have the lifestyle,
Sure.
you see, and we have black tax
Sure.
as well. So, like, everything has to balance itself out, and you still have to have that, just that little bit.
And the last question is, what advice would you give someone who wants to go into property and don't have the know-how,
Mm,
and also, like I mentioned earlier, having fears
mm.
and delaying to jump into property?
Um, to actually hit on myself. Don't waste time, guys. That's the first one. Don't waste time. If you have the savings, if you're like me, and you have the savings, and you don't owe any car, you don't have too much black tax. Well, you can never have too much black tax because it's there. If you don't have, if you don't owe a house maybe that you're currently staying in, how do you like I did? I there was an advantage to me
Yeah, a
actually,
lot.
because I stayed home and then I got to save a lot on that as well. So guys, jump onto it. Jump onto it if you're a guy like me, and if you have too many disadvantages, it's about the credit card and building body credit score.
Fix that up.
Fix that up as soon as possible. Get a credit card, because when you get a credit card, it's something that works closely with the bank, so they won't hesitate when they see that you have a credit card. Don't open a clothing account, guys.
It's not gonna help
Yo
at
yo
all.
yo 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 yo. Hey, man, I can't even do Edcon. Hey, man. Hey, man, those people will trap you, guys. Don't open clothing accounts. It's a setback. It's fine to build, but it's also kind of slow. Yeah, it's kind of slow to build your credit score. So yeah, credit cards is the way to go. Don't open clothing accounts, because you're gonna end up having a lot of credit that you need to pay back. Yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah.
Don't waste time, guys. Hit us up. Hit Olebukeng up actually, because he's the go-to guy. He has more knowledge than me. I'm gonna help you as far as I can, but I'm gonna send you to his direction. What I don't know, he might probably know, and what he doesn't know, he'll probably send someone that he knows. He'll give you all the right information, proper agents to hit up, help you how to, I don't know, man, maneuver the transition. It's about the OTP, offer to purchase, conversations with the banks, conversations with the agents, where to buy. I checked a lot of Property 24. I still do, because now it's in my blood. It's like my WhatsApp. It's like
Check out notification.
it
there's
sends me
anything
a lot of
new-
notification.
Yeah,
if there's anything
new in
Eh,
the
man, now
market.
it's like a drug.
Yeah.
It's like a drug. It's really like a drug. Like I'm always eager to actually see, okay,
What's happening in the
what's
market?
happening. Is there something good out there that's in the right space to actually buy? Because my guy, yo, I think I said a mouthful.
Ne?
I think I said a mouthful.
Right. And having said that, that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for doing this with me,
Thanks for having me, Joe.
and hopefully this will be maybe a learning curve or an information session for a lot of people who would like to get into property and want to know the ins and outs of property. Whatever we might have not touched on, we're still going to do more videos and have sessions like this and share more of property and how one could go about it.
Definitely.
And yeah, man. Peace.
Peace out.
Mudumukio.